What's up everyone, my name is Yuliya and welcome to Captive Emotions. In today's video I want to go over different types of lenses. So I have some variety of lenses here. I'm not going to go over the specifics and the details of the lens, I just want to show the type of lenses that we have here. So starting from the right to left, this one, it's a ultra wide angle lens. So it's by Nikon. It's 14 to 24 millimeters. These lenses, they run about 1750 right now. That's 1750. It almost looks like a fisheye lens, and these are great for landscape photography, or even if you're doing a portrait or a wedding photography that you have some sort of landscape in the background. It's amazing lens for that. So this one is a wide angle lens, and this one is 24 to 70 millimeter. It's a great lens, also by Nikon. They run about $1,600 right now. We bought it many years ago. It was about the same price. It's 2.8, and it's a must lens for wedding photographers. So if you're doing wedding, you have to have a 24 to 70 millimeter. And when we started doing photography, wedding photography, we didn't have it first, but we came to a point that, and very quickly, we realized that we absolutely need the 24 to 70 millimeter lens. So this one right here, it's also by Nikon. It's for photography. It's a telephoto zoom lens, 70 to 200 millimeters and f2.8. These, they run about $2,350. We bought it 3 years ago. It was about $2,700 or $800. So the price on these lenses have dropped, but it's also one of those lenses that you must have if you're doing portrait, wedding photography, or sports photography. It's a great lens. It's very, very sharp, and you can purchase a cheaper version of this that is f4.0 for about $1,000 to $1,500, or even maybe cheaper right now. So it's a great lens. If you're doing wedding photography, these are the two lenses that you should absolutely have: the wide angle and a telephoto lens. This one right here, it's also a DSLR prime lens. It's a 50 millimeter lens. It's the first lens that we ever bought. We bought this about 6 years ago. We bought it for $450, and it's still $450. This one is our go-to lens for everything. So we use it in wedding photography, we use it for portrait photography, we use it for boudoir photography, and if we're just doing a family shoot or a mini session, for everything we use this 50 millimeter lens. If you're just starting and you don't know what to buy, 50 millimeter, you can never go wrong. Never, never, ever. We still use it, we love it, we will not change it for anything. So now these over here, these are Cine lenses. So Cine lenses are different than DSLR camera lenses. So these are also prime lenses. They are by Rokinon. I bought these as a bundle. So I have a 24 millimeter, 35, 50, and an 85 millimeter. So these are fully manual. They're not auto. All these lenses are auto and manual. So this one, it has the focus ring, and it has also the focal length ring. So you're gonna have to manually basically adjust your aperture, manually do your focus. And when I first got this, I didn't know anything about cinematography, and I was very intimidated by it. And first I was very confused actually, because I put it on the camera and I was trying to figure out how to do the autofocus on this. And you know, I learned the hard way that, yeah, you can't do autofocus with these. But I absolutely love them. I use it for my Blackmagic design. I shot a lot of films with it. I did a feature film with it. I did 3 short films with it. I did a lot of commercials. I did a music video with it. And I absolutely love these lenses. So surprisingly, they're very cheap. I bought this whole bundle for $1,750, and I absolutely love them. They're sharp, and they're very easy to work with. So you guys just have to get used to it, you know, just coming in the mindset that, okay, you're shooting a film, you need to have control of your aperture, of your focal length, and that's where these Cine lenses come. The other different these from the DSLR lenses are that they don't have an f-stop, which is the focal length. they have a T, which is transmission. So the aperture can be really wide open on these. It starts from 1.5 to 22 f-stop or T, but it's pretty much the same thing, almost. So I bought this whole bundle for $750, but the one that I use the most is the 35mm, which is this one, and the 50mm right here. These are the ones that I use the most for films. I barely use the 85mm. I do use the 24mm if I need to get a wider angle, or if we're just in a small space, then, or I need to get really close to the subject. But yeah, if you didn't want to maybe just buy your first lens, I would say buy the 35mm, and then you can get the 50mm, probably next one the 24, and then the 85 if you need it. So this one right here is a long reach macro lens. It's also by Nikon. It's an autofocus and manual lens 2.8. These they run about $900. We use this lens mainly for product photography, or if you want to shoot details in a wedding. So it's long reach, so you can still capture beautiful detail from a distance. It's great for COVID-19 situations. And yeah, we use it for products. Even we do portraits with it sometimes too. And it's very sharp, it's crystal clear, and we absolutely love this lens. So if you're doing detail, if you're doing product photography, I say this is a great lens. This one right here is also a macro lens, but it's a wide angle macro lens, and it's a probe lens. These are called probe lens. And so this one is fully manual, so the focal, it has a focus ring, and it also has a focal length ring. It's from f14 to f40. The aperture is very narrow. It's very small, unlike this one right here, where it's just 2.8. So you need a lot of light to use this lens. You've probably seen it on the internet, and everybody's talking about it, and there is a reason why everyone is talking about it, because it's just awesome. So I use this for product videography, or if I want to tell a story or show a point of view from an animal or something, I will use this for filmmaking. It needs a lot of light, because you're shooting at f14 in the minimum to f40. However, it does have an LED ring light in front of it, so you can easily just get into places and just shoot it. So what I noticed about this lens is it doesn't really work well if you're trying to shoot a surface. So it's perfect if you're trying to actually get into stuff and get into like items or get into something, and there's some depth of field there, so that's where it does its best job. So if you're just trying to point it straight at something and just shoot it, you're not gonna get the best effects. And that's it for this. And this one is about $1,500. I bought it about 6 months ago. It was $1,500. I checked it like a year and a half ago or a year ago. It was also $1,500. So the price on this lens also hasn't dropped. So now talking about the lens that is on my camera right now, and it's a 16 to 35mm G Master Sony 2.8 lens. This lens on the camera is my go-to lens for all of my YouTube videos. So I'm working with 8 different YouTubers, and I shoot all their YouTube videos, and this is the lens that I take, and I shoot all of it with this one lens. And the reason is it's kind of like an ultra wide to wide angle lens, and I know that I can walk into any room and I'm not gonna have a problem capturing what I want in the room. That's why I love this lens. It's very sharp. It's about $2,200. It's a little bit expensive. It's more expensive than the camera, but it's a great lens. There's a cheaper version of this, which is a f4.0. It's about $1,000 cheaper. But if you want to invest in a lens that you want to have it for everything, just start making YouTube videos and just different type of videos, real estate videos, commercial videos. I don't know, like you're adventurous, you want to go shoot out there something. This is the lens to go, 16 to 35mm. It's just absolutely great for every video that you want to make. So the only bad thing about this lens that I'm shooting right now is the distortion. So when you're shooting in a wide angle, 16mm, you're definitely gonna get some distortion. And yeah, that's just a bad part with it. But I've been using it for a year and I've shot over 500 maybe videos with this lens, and no one has ever complained about it. And I don't have any complaint about it since everyone is happy. So that's it. These are all the lenses that I had, so I could just share them with you. Maybe hopefully you learned something. And if you want to know anything about a specific lens, just leave a comment and I'll make a separate video for that lens. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Cut.